Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
All right, welcome back into the Penny Clinic Low T studio. I am Drake Toll alongside J.D. Pickell, Armstrong, Sims, Zach, and Isaac in studio today. And we are joined now by a very special guest. Some in the law industry know him as Dana McLendon, but we more commonly know him as the crazy hot Matrix guy. And that's how we've got to refer to him. Crazy hot Matrix guy, thanks for coming on the show today.
Glad to be here, man. What's up?
Oh my goodness. There's so many places that I want to start with my dating life and my career, but I'll start here. Knowing that you revolutionized the dating industry, what has it been, five or so years ago now?
6.5.
6.5 years ago.
Who's counting really though?
July 21st, 2014.
To know that you revolutionized the dating game, is there just something about that for you that's so, I guess, just do you feel like you've accomplished something?
I changed the world.
Yeah. It goes Christopher Columbus, Sir Isaac Newton, Crazy Hot Matrix guy.
Crazy hot Matrix guy.
Dan McClendon.
Oh my goodness. So walk us through too. As you said 46 years, JD brought up the point that your one criteria for building this matrix was the fact that you've been on the earth for 46 years.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Something like that. When did it dawn on you that I need to share this knowledge with the world?
So my sons are about you guys' age. My sons are 24 and 21. And one day I just realized that, man, I knew stuff that I needed to pass on and that you guys shouldn't have to learn the hard way. So.
And how has their success been since you've educated them in the world?
Neither of them has made a giant mistake. I'll take a little bit of credit for that. So
absolutely.
Now, what went into for you the Crazy Hot Matrix? When you thought about what's the criteria that we're going to put into what this chart looks like?
Okay, so I've been a divorce lawyer since 1993. I've also done criminal defense work since 1993, and I've been married since 1992. So I've learned a little bit about what doesn't work. And the actual origin of the Matrix was a guy came in to see me, and he was having to hire me for like the third time for some little misdemeanor stuff. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, man, do you know why this keeps happening to you?" And he shrugged and he goes, "Man, I guess I'm just unlucky." And I was like, "No, that's not it." I go, "What do all these events have in common?" He's like, "Me?" I go, "Well, yeah, but girls, women, you keep picking the wrong ones." And he goes, "You think?" And I literally just was like, I got to show this guy where he's wrong, right? Like, so I just started sketching this thing and it just sort of happened. And then over time, I would show it to other people. And there were a couple of revisions to it before it was published. But one of them was the Tiffany part. I was showing it to a guy one time and I got to the danger zone part and he pointed hard at it and he thumped his finger on it and he goes, "And Tiffany's are in the danger zone." And I go, "That's funny," because like he was serious, but when I realized that like the comedic effect of putting a girl's name in there was that, first of all of us know a crazy ass Tiffany. So that was easy. And then second of all, it was like that name just was a placeholder. Her name could be Susan, but if I gave you a placeholder, then the bit was that much better. And then the part at the end about, "But wait a minute, man, I met this girl." She's like, that actually happened. And so that's where that part of the bit came.
So those are like some really real credentials, like having worked.
Yeah, it's all drawn on experience. Yeah, it's all drawn from real life.
Like there's jokes in it, but it's all very much real, like evidence based.
Yeah, well, that's why it went hyper viral, right? Yeah. Like because people see that it's funny, but they also see how accurate there are. I mean, like, it's the quintessential boy girl relationship bit. And we all struggle and we all try to find our way through it. And we all try to find someone that can put up with our nonsense just as well as we can put up with theirs. And so,
and how long did it take to become viral? Like, did it take off pretty quick, or was this like 2 years later you check it?
No, man. So the guy that's in the video with me is a good friend of mine, and it was his channel, and he had like 250,000 followers, but they're all like gun guys and cops and soldiers. And and stuff, preppers and stuff. So I figured his average video at the time probably reached 10,000 views eventually, something like that. So I figured it'd be 5,000 people that were, kind of inside, the clubhouse kind of thing. Man, within a couple of weeks, I was getting phone calls because it went from 50,000 to 100,000 to 500,000. Like I couldn't even keep up. And by now it's hundreds of millions.
So what, and we kind of asked around to people around us, Crazy Hot Matrix guy. And everyone we asked our bosses, we were like, hey, we know it's a sports show, but we want to have him on. And they were like, we live by that video. You've got to have him on the air. So have you heard any success stories in your time that have come out of your Crazy Hot Matrix?
Oh, dude, to this day, I mean, we're 6.5 years later and I didn't know you guys were out there doing this thing and gonna come and invite me. To this day, I posted something on my Instagram the other day, random guy I'd never met. I don't know who he is. I'll never meet him in real life. Texted me. He DM'd me a funny story about how he was dating some girl and he had to call the cops to get her out of the apartment. And as she's being dragged out in handcuffs, she's screaming that she's a unicorn. I mean,
no way.
I'm telling you, to this day that happens. I mean,
out of here.
Yeah. When it first went viral, it was summer of 2014, and that October, people were winning costume contests at bars for going as me, and then their girl goes as a unicorn, and they're carrying a whiteboard into the bar, and So almost every Halloween, I Google the bit, and sure enough, someone's gone to the bar and it's funny too, because like the takes that they have on me is like total nerded out, and I get it. I mean, like the glasses and the tie and stuff, but
from academia,
right?
Yeah,
that just added to the...
yeah.
That is so funny. Now, I was asking Drake before we got you on here, is there a way to self-assess on the Crazy Hot Matrix? Because obviously in a relationship, it's two people, ideally. I mean, you get some weirdos, but ideally it's two people, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a good assessment of one person, how do you self-assess yourself to see where you fall in the Matrix? Because I'm assuming there can be some give and take there, no?
You mean like, how does a girl know where she falls?
Dana, JD wants to know where he ranks.
How hot am I, Dana? Tell me how hot I am. All right? I want to know.
Man, that's a whole different semester of Matrix. I'll have to do a follow-up class on that one.
We're eagerly looking forward to that.
Yeah. So that's second semester Matrix. You have to be invited to that class.
Okay.
So, and is there on the flip side of that, for the ladies out there that are watching, where can they go to find, hey, I'm dating this guy who's like a 7.5. He's like a 4 crazy.
Yep.
I mean, where does this fall for the women?
Oh, this is easy. So most people saw the video that got clipped, but at the end of the original, which you can find on my YouTube channel, I did the Matrix for women. I mean, I can do it. I could tell you now, or I could show you now if you like. But the bottom line is that for women, it's much simpler because women are much more selective than men. So women's no-go zone is vast. If you are not at least an 8 on the cute scale, or at least an 8 on the money, fame, and power scale, you are in the no-go zone.
Wow. And how does that look? Are there as many quadrants?
No.
What's the range of? I would love to see it. If you've got an example, I would love to see it, because I know we have a lot of people tuning in that they want to know. The ladies don't want to feel left out today.
You want a screen share?
Oh, come on. We're doing
Please.
it. Armstrong's got the screen share open. This is a free course right now.
Yeah.
This right here is like, you ever watch the YouTube ads that come up and it's like,
I do.
the courses in music, or Hans Zimmer is teaching you how to be or somebody that leads an orchestra. This is better.
Yeah.
This is better than that.
All right, you want me to actually screen share on my iPad?
We got it.
It says it's disabled.
Armstrong, it's out on my end or your end? Our producer is.
That's all right. I can draw it and just hold it up.
That would be
better. I think that would be better.
Okay. So,
this is
for the
defining moment for us.
Ladies, this is for you.
Yeah, it's live. It's live TV. But keep asking me questions while I sketch this thing real quick.
So we had a question that came in too. one of our viewers asked, this is Steven from Virginia, as a person who was married and divorced someone who was in the no-go zone, how does he recover?
Okay, so get back out there and don't be in any hurry. Now I would, so how old is this guy?
Steven's probably 28,
we don't
30.
know.
Yeah, Steven's an enigma.
We don't
Steven
know. I
is
asked
at
that before the show. I don't know.
So he's a grown up. He's done the whole, went down the aisle, got the chick with the white dress, all that, right?
Right.
Okay, this is easy. All right. Well, I mean, you only do that once, right? You don't make a big deal out of your second one. Like you're just at that point, you're just
been here before.
flaunting your failure at that point.
As two people who have been down the aisle 0 times.
I also have not been down the aisle.
This is the advice that I'm about to give you is not the advice I would give to someone your age who's never done the traditional wedding. Okay. But if you've done that and you're now a grown up and the first one didn't work, here's what I would say. First date, you'll only go on a first date with someone to whom you have a strong physical attraction. Now, I don't have to tell men that, but I do have to tell women that because they'll talk themselves into it. They'll be like, oh, but he's so nice to puppies or whatever. And they're not attracted to him. So they figure that somehow they'll work themselves up into that and it won't happen. So men don't make that mistake. They already know if you're not attracted to them, don't go on a first date. First date, you stay sober. It's short. You arrive separately, you leave separately. It's a daytime thing, maybe a cup of coffee. And the only purpose of the first date is to confirm or reject the theory that you are attracted to them physically. If you are, and if she is reciprocal to you, attracted, then you schedule a second date. And the second date goes like this. You go somewhere that's cozy and intimate with booze, and you both bring 10 questions.
Wow.
And you can ask anything you want.
Wow.
And anything. Yes, you can ask that. Whatever you want. Okay. And the second date, the rules are these. You each bring 10 questions. And when you are asked a question, you can leave, pass, or answer. And if you answer, then the answer has to be the unvarnished, raw, ugly truth. Okay.
Wow.
So if you get asked a question that you're like, oh, that's insane, I'm out. You just check, please. Thank you. Done. Right. Or you can say, I'm not comfortable answering that question, which is an answer. Or you can answer the question. If you both get 10 answers that you can live with, you should then go do the thing. And if that works out, you've got a shot at a relationship. But you've microwaved past all the nonsense where you lie to someone for 6 months and only later let them figure out that there's something that there is a deal breaker.
This is so foolproof.
This is second date advice.
Yeah, you might look. This is why I'm saying it's not like the traditional young people falling in love thing. This is like a grown up. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. You don't want to waste a lot of time. Here's the thing: if you're a grown up, you don't want to meet somebody and get attached to their dog, and then 6 months later find out that there's a problem that can't be fixed, and now you're going to miss the dog.
I mean,
I've been there.
If there's a thing being done on the second date, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're attached to a lot more than just the dog, Dana.
Well, I'm saying you should figure out whether that part's going to work too.
Physical attraction.
On the second date?
Well, the guy's already been married before.
I mean, whatever. I'm just saying, like, if you've cleared out the top 10 deal breakers, maybe it's time. I don't know. I'm not going to rush people into it, but like, that's the next thing that's like the check. And if that's good, so like, you got a shot.
So like from an abstract perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
okay. I can be more on board with that.
Now, I like the course here. Did you not take notes?
I don't need to take notes.
I've got now we've cleared the 10 question thing. So we know that they're either A, not that crazy, or B, that you can tolerate the 10 question answers. Then you find, okay, I'm physically attracted to them. All right, you're right. But also, we're not 30. We haven't been married before. So I bet, and Dana can fill us in, that this would look a lot different for those of us who are early 20s.
Yeah, you guys should do it the hard way.
Okay. What does the hard way look like, and is there a way to make it easy, Dana?
Well, use your matrix, plot data points, and then see where it goes. I mean, you guys aren't in any hurry, right? Like there's a whole sea of people out there.
Well, Dana, we go to Baylor, and there's this little thing called the ring by spring, and if you don't get it, you don't get a degree. So I'm gonna need the easy way on a fast track.
See, don't buy the hype. That's ridiculous. Here, in all seriousness, as a divorce lawyer, I will tell you this. I have run so many divorces where the story was this, and I'm serious about this. The story was we were dating when we were seniors, and then we graduated. So we took jobs in the same town and rented an apartment. Well, and then it seemed like the thing to do was to get married. So we did. And then we had a kid. And then we both looked at each other and realized, you're not even the person I liked 8 years ago. Let's bail. Let's get out of this. Right. So that whole timeline that gets inflicted upon young people about, well, what are we going to do now that we've graduated? I know, let's get married. That's insanity. Don't buy that.
There's a lot of truth to that.
No one's ever told me that before. Okay, here it is. Now,
Okay.
this is for the ladies out there.
Right. So as you can see, if you are an 8 cute, but you are not at least an 8 on the money, fame, and power scale, you are an F boy.
Wow.
F stands for fail boy.
Fail boy.
Okay, yeah. Once you are an 8 on the money, fame, and power scale, it is no longer relevant what you look like. You're husband material.
Wow. Okay. And so is there like a correlate? So what if you're a 9 cute and a 9 money, fame, power?
Well, right. Okay, fine. You're Brad Pitt. But
So I'm not. I'm
who is
Drake
Brad
Toll.
Pitt for $1,000, Alex?
Wow. So and
Yeah,
is this
yeah.
as foolproof?
Dude, go on the internet and look up all the ugly dudes with hot chicks. And the only reason they got a hot chick is because they got money.
Is there a financial amount
Right.
attached to those numerical?
Well, it's relative to the
matrix?
girl, right? Like, I mean, if she's an LA 10, then yeah, it's going to take a lot
So
more
it's
money.
sliding. So it's a sliding.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if she's a Midwest 6, it's different, right?
It varies. It varies. So on top of that, though, Dana, what is your advice? And this wasn't included in either of these. This is like outside of the course. We're going office hours right here.
Love it.
How do we become in the 8 or above in the money, power, and fame?
Pick something that you're good at and get better at it than everyone else.
You, bobsledding.
That's a lot.
Olympic bobsledding.
Got another call yesterday. True story.
This guy.
True story.
I mean, look, this whole follow your passion thing. Well, what if your passion is butterfly collecting?
Get really good.
There's
at
money
Okay,
there.
fine. You're a butterfly collector.
There's money there somewhere.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but only for the very best butterfly collector on the planet.
What if I'm really good at butterfly collecting?
Okay, good. You going to monetize that or just be a butterfly collector?
Flip it and tumble it, baby.
You tell me, Dana, what's going to make me the most money?
Well, I don't know what the market for butterfly collectors is, but you don't have to be a particularly good lawyer to live a good life. But I imagine that if you want to be a rich butterfly collector, you damn well better be the best one on the planet. And that sounds like it's a little more competitive.
That's true.
That's a lot of truth.
The butterfly collection industry has only got it's only gotten more competitive
Everyone's
as the years
saying
have gone
buy,
on.
buy,
Yeah, there's
buy.
only
All the experts.
that's
Buy,
truly
buy,
a
buy.
vertical industry. Like only the very best get any money out of
The
it.
rich and powerful butterfly collectors. So Dana, as we wrap up here, when it comes to your advice today, 6.5 years later from the release of that video, has anything changed? And what do you tell young men or just men across the board everywhere who look to you for dating and relationship advice now?
Don't marry anyone you haven't lived with for a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. So at Baylor, that may not bode so
Yeah.
well at a school that's more traditional like Baylor.
Listen, I realize that I'm not giving advice that is consistent with certain moral tenets. I get it. I'm a divorce lawyer.
There
So
it is.
I'm giving practical advice, and I'm telling you that if you don't live with someone, you don't know them. And if you don't live with them for a year, you don't know them the way that you should. And also, don't marry someone whose immediate family you have not met or had that family's absence explained satisfactorily.
Or who is
So,
immediate family.
Well, like brother,
would-
sister, father, mother.
No, I'm saying you shouldn't marry someone who is immediate family, let alone date someone who's immediate family, depending
No.
on
I'm
your
saying you
geographical
shouldn't marry
location.
someone. I'm saying you shouldn't marry someone whose immediate family you haven't
But
met.
are you also saying not to marry someone who's in your immediate family? Can you please confirm
Well,
that
that's
as well?
a felony. So yeah, let's don't do that.
I have one more question. I don't know if Drake does. I have one more question to backtrack to the Matrix. Again, I'm sure you hear this a lot. I personally, I'll give you, here are all my cards. I believe I have indeed found a unicorn, Dana. How do I keep this unicorn?
Keep all the poachers away.
And Dana being
There it
one
is.
of those too,
There it
because
is.
Dana did say that if you find a unicorn, you're supposed to ship it to him.
Never mind.
yeah.
Forget whatever I said.
If you have in fact found a unicorn, good for you. Initiate replication sequence.
Okay.
Make more of them.
Okay.
Make more of them. And Dana, I'm guessing you haven't been sent too many unicorns in your days to evaluate, have you?
Man, I get self-professed unicorns on social media all the time.
Sure.
And ones that get arrested and drug out of apartments, too, that are also apparent unicorns.
Yeah, I'm saying that was proof positive that she wasn't what she said she was.
Probably not. I'm sure most of the unicorns that say they are not. But Dana, look, man, this right here, this is what it's all about.
Gold. Right. Yeah.
Now I feel so much more
Sports
prepared.
show gold.
As a young college kid, I feel so much more prepared to go into the world. We needed to take a break from sports.
Man, you haven't learned a thing at Baylor more helpful than this.
I haven't. This, and guess how much I paid for this in comparison to my tuition?
They should be paying me for teaching this class.
They should imagine.
I should be like an adjunct professor at Baylor.
Tell me someone has reached out to you at a university, at least for a lecture.
Oh, the academic world scoffs at me, and I just look at him and go, well, that's fine. You can teach them all the butterfly collecting you want. I got something useful.
Yeah, you hear that, butterfly collectors? I'm not collecting them anymore.
Yeah,
I'm a man now.
Go down to your J school and tell them what you learned today.
Yeah, I love that. That's the best line yet. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, compare that tuition to this tuition. I would take this crash course every day of the week.
Priceless.
And I'm just doing it because I'm a good dude and I want to change the world for the better. They're doing it for money. So you tell me who's got it right.
And this guy is changing the world day by day, men across the nation, and now specifically at Baylor University, the crazy hot matrix.
I'm glad it's alive and well at the age group that needs it the most.
Oh my goodness. I am like, that's the thing. I don't know if we know, like there are so few people that when I was like, yeah, crazy hot matrix guy, they were like, yeah, I know exactly who that is. Our producer watched it at a church. What was it?
A Bible study.
The first time I ever watched it was a Bible study, and then that entire rest of that Bible study, all we did was just analyze it and discuss
Just break it down.
Yeah.
Wow. And foolproof to this day.
And here's the thing. 300 million reviews later, and it has not been rebutted.
Wow. There is no...
So, I mean, it's not just science. It's now a law.
It is.
There it is.
You heard it here
It
first.
is no longer a hypothesis.
Wow. It is established, and the people know it as truth. The crazy hot matrix guy, Dana McLendon, joining us today on Uptempo. Dana, any final thoughts here? Because I just want to soak in all the wisdom I can get.
Man, you know, I'm just here to serve. So if you need me again, if you need a follow-up, you just let me know. I'll be here.
Dana, the next date I go on, that's the first call we're making. We're going to review that.
Hey man, I'll tell you what, if you take a girl out and she's familiar, or you show her and she says, that's not funny, you should leave.
Yeah. It's the perfect level of satire.
Hey, if they genuinely don't think it's funny and you do, that is a deal breaker. Because you don't want to go through the rest of your life getting scolded for teaching your son that some things are funny and some things aren't. I mean, come on.
The no-go
That's not a
zone.
life you want to lead.
So, but like you said in the video, she could vanish. She could be in the wife zone, and if she doesn't like the video, she vanishes into the no-go zone.
That's why you got to collect the data points over time.
Wow, I love it. Dana McLendon, the crazy hot matrix guy, thanks so much for joining Uptempo today.
I couldn't have been happier to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Not his first rodeo.
Not his first. I want to go on a date now. And then like review it give him a call. Call him up and be like, hey Dana, I went on a date tonight. Can I kind of walk you through it?
Can that be a Bear Games? Like first caller instead of like what do we have? We have what, green and blank?
What do we do? We did that
say
one
no,
day.
first
where
caller
like,
gets a date with Drake Toll.
First caller, Armstrong will take you out to dinner and buy your dinner. We did that once.
I was hoping
I've literally gone on a date for charity before.
That was the single most narcissistic, not narcissistic thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, it was a charity date.
He's a man of the people.
I went on a date one time.
It was a prize.
And that charity is never wanted another dime ever again. They were good. They were good for a while after that date.
No, that's not true.
People, I beg to differ.
Collect your data points and your analysis. I feel like that right there. I feel enlightened.
Just stay out of the no-go zone.
Stay out of the no-go zone.
I feel like I know myself better too after seeing the other Matrix.
Find a
The
unicorn.
8-to-8.
Yeah, and the ladies out there got their matrix as well.
Yeah.
English. Wow.
It was mind blowing. Say the
I'm
least.
kind of like I feel a little bit out of like I'm just in a different world right now a little bit. Like there's a large part of me that's like, what just happened on our show?
Yeah. I'm not going to say I agree with him on every single point, but I think as a whole, he and I see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah.
You and Dana McLendon, the crazy hot matrix guy, way more in common than maybe you thought. Unbelievable. Well, here's what we got. We got a caller online, Stephen from Virginia. We're going to hold till after the break. Bring it right back after Armstrong's minute and a quick break. Wow. Blonde Boys Power Hour. Dana McLendon, the crazy hot Matrix guy, just joined the show. I'm Drake Toll. That's J.D. Pickell. And this is Up Tempo.